Welcome back. Parents are this morning being urged to think more carefully before uploading photos and videos of their kids to social media, with experts suggesting we should be asking them for consent first.
For more on this, we're joined by digital wellbeing specialist Joanne Orlando. Joanne, a lot of parents, including myself, would be like, eek, but too late. I mean, because you want to share these. That was the whole point of social media when it first started out in its infancy, was that we could share our moments, share our time, share our lives with our friends and our family. So why should we be now trying to ask for a child's consent?
Yeah, life has changed, hasn't it, dramatically in terms of our technology lives as well. But consent, I want you to think about it in three different ways. We kind of just think of it as putting things up online, but there's three different ways to categorise it. It's the images or videos you put up online, it's what you say, as well as how often you do it. So you might be putting up, pretty kind of calm images, but you're doing it 2 or 3 times a day. That's a lot of content about your child online.
It's been dubbed oversharing now, and I think we are starting to learn a little bit more about the short-term and long-term effects of this. What are the risks of sharing too much of your kids online?
Yeah, well, countries like France have banned this. So it shows that there are kind of quite a lot of detriment to your child. One is, privacy is quite precious to us now, and we're putting out a ton of details about our child without even really thinking of it. Lots of images from the time they're a baby, all the activities they're doing, the school they're going to, their mates, all those kinds of things are out there in the open for anyone really to pull and use in any way that they want.
So, I mean, do you think that the way that parents use social media can actually influence how kids use social media and use their online space?
Yeah, that's where children learn to use social media. You've got a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old and you're putting things up online of the family. You're their first teacher when it comes to social media, and if you're using it excessively, when they get to 14, you're saying, hey, stop putting things up on social media. Well, they've had like 10 or 13 years of watching you do it. So what you do, even from when they're very young, is really important. It really lays the path for them.
And what about in the later teenage years, if we're looking at the long-term effects of sharing years of pictures of your kids without their knowledge or consent? What do we know about that now?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of ways to think about it. One is that every detail of their life is online. They can never get back. So their privacy is kind of shot, really, isn't it, in one way. Plus, there's a lot of data that people can just take. And one of the things I've come across recently is the use of images and using it as deep fakes and putting it on, naked images of children and using that as child sexual imagery. So the dangers of, if there's more out there, there's more risk of that happening to your child.
That's gross. What advice do you have for parents then who want to share photos and show videos of their kids online, but they also want to keep them safe? I mean, part of my argument is that you actually can't control whether someone's going to use their image.
You can't. It's a fine line. So, yeah, we want to be proud parents, but we don't want to define good parenting by how much you post up online. So think about how often, what you're putting up there and what you're saying. It might just be on a parenting blog. Oh, my child's, wetting their bed. I don't know what to do. Anyone got advice? That's about your child. That's private details about your child. So think about what you're doing it and why you're doing it. Who's going to hurt? Well, potentially your child.
Yeah, I think a lot of our approaches are shifting now on this front, now that we're learning a little bit more about it. Joanne, always great to have you in. Thanks so much for joining us.